going forward, it is indeed our place as a country to work together, to find common ground on things that are of national interest to the Republic of Kenya. It is the reason why I am working with the former Prime Minister. It is the reason why I have reached out to the former President. It is the reason why I will reach out to all other leaders so that we can fashion a country that all of us believe in, a country that we can all have a stake in and participate in its full, in realizing our full potential as a country. We must continuously build bridges instead of erecting barriers. We must always find it to create more synergy as we move forward. And I appreciate the leadership of many other groups and teams and sections as we work together in this common project called Kenya. It is not an individual program, it's not a personal project, it is a collective effort. And I appreciate that Professor Anyang' Nyong'o is in our midst to represent the former Prime Minister and to confirm that the former Prime Minister is somewhere in West Africa because he is our candidate for the Africa Union Commission Chair. And collectively, our support is necessary so that we can use his talent, his expertise, his knowledge to drive the African agenda, because Kenya cannot succeed if Africa fails. We need a successful Africa to have a thriving Kenya. We must continuously work together, persuade one another, even when there are misunderstandings here and there. We must continuously inform, we must continuously engage so that everybody can come on board as we implement these transformative projects, whether it is our savings culture, whether it is our education infrastructure and system, whether it is our health programs, or whether it is our infrastructure programs coming from housing to water to roads. We must all continuously work together in that space. And let me confirm to the people of this county and to the pastoralist community that I signed into law the water bill, I think 2 weeks ago, that now provides a bigger framework for matters to do with water harvesting, matters to do with water storage as we look into the future, because to unlock the potential of our arid and semi-arid areas, water harvesting, water storage, water management is going to form a big and substantial part of unlocking the potential of this region. And that is why it is important for us to have a new policy framework and a legal regime that is going to support the process of our water management. Let me also confirm to you that as we hire more teachers, and this December, we are going to hire another 20,000 teachers because education is important. And I want to tell the pastoralist communities, education is still a big challenge in this region. And leaders, pastoralist leaders to be specific, must mind about the education of the children of pastoralists as we do for the children of Kenya. I did say before, I will repeat again, that it is time that pastoralists take up teaching as a profession. Usalama wa nchi ni ya muhimu sana. Na sisi wote tuko na sehemu ya kuchangia katika mambo ya usalama. Kazi ambayo tumefanya kwa miaka miwili, nilisema ya kwamba we are going to modernize the security equipment that we have and improve on the security architecture and make it much more people-centered. We will involve leaders, we will involve citizens in making sure that they too take charge of the security of where they stay, of the security of their counties. And we have seen tremendous progress, even as we spend public resources modernizing the police, modernizing our security agencies. And we are spending close to 20 billion shillings to modernize the equipment and the facilities and the capabilities that are available to our policemen and women so that they can improve on our security. But we must also realize that this security is also a matter for each and every one of us. But as I committed, we need to silence those who are shooting everywhere. And I am very happy that the last 2 years we have reduced on conflict, we have reduced on cattle rustling, we have reduced on insecurity generally, but there is still a lot of work to be done. And I need the support, the collaboration, the partnership of all leaders, together with the security agencies, so that we can take charge of the security of our country. I also committed that we are going to eliminate the old story of vetting because it discriminated on some Kenyans. Today, our constitution and the law gives us the opportunity to make refugees Kenyans. Now, if we can make refugees Kenyans, what business do we have asking questions about other Kenyans and whether they are Kenyans or not? And it is the reason why I made the policy decision to get rid of this thing called vetting, because in any case, it was not based on any law. It was just an administrative issue. And that gives all of us the opportunity to be the people that we should be, people of one country and one citizenship. When I was asked by the pastoralist leadership for the full implementation of the Equalization Fund, I can now confirm that between last year and this year, we have identified 1,200 projects, and we are funding those projects to the tune of 18 billion Kenya shillings. Let me also say that for the 13 years, 12 and a half years that the Equalization Fund has been in place, for 12 years, the government of Kenya spent 12 billion. In 2 years, my administration is spending 18 billion. And I want to commit that in the next 6 years, by God's grace, we're going to make sure that no shilling that was meant for equalization is lost. We are going to make sure that every shilling is accounted for, and if there will be need for us to extend the time for this equalization fund, we will, to make sure that we ultimately make sure that this project is done properly. Let me also confirm that I agree that extending this program to cover 32 counties makes it inefficient. And we are spreading it too thin across too many projects and missing the impact it is supposed to create. And therefore, we will be rationalizing, we will be having a rethink of this equalization fund, and the ministers responsible will, in the first quarter of next year, provide us with a policy direction that will be approved by Parliament so that we can limit the extent to which this equalization fund is spread and make sure that we create greater efficacy. To make sure that we open up market for our livestock products, we must manage our disease prevalence. We must manage the diseases that come with ticks and all the other things that come along. And it is the reason why I have made a policy decision that because we have never been able to manage disease around Kenya, because we vaccinate in one county, the other county has not vaccinated, disease move from here to there. we are going to carry out a national campaign, a national vaccination exercise that is going to make sure that we vaccinate our 22 million heads of cattle and 50 million heads of small stock, goats and sheep. And that exercise is because it is necessary. That vaccination is necessary because we want to create a disease-free country, and so that we can market our livestock products to destinations that today we have been denied access to certain destinations because of our disease control inadequacies. That is the primary reason. And for the avoidance of doubt, the vaccines that we will be using are produced in Kenya by Kenyans. Kevevapi, our own institution, is going to produce these vaccines. We have one of the largest vaccine producers in Africa, in Kenya. Today, we are selling vaccines to other countries. And I want to tell livestock keepers, starting from myself, because among the livestock that is going to be vaccinated is my own cattle. You know? So there is an evil spirit in Kenya that is resident in some leaders. They churn out falsehood. They oppose everything for the sake of opposing. I mean, foot and mouth disease, PPR, are diseases we have been fighting ever since I was born. It is nothing new. So anybody opposing vaccination to eliminate FMD and PPR is simply mad and unreasonable and possibly stupid. I mean, honestly, how else can you explain? You know? Or maybe they don't have cattle. Maybe they don't understand what this is all about. So we are going to carry out this vaccination because it is the right thing to do, because we need to take charge of disease control and open up markets for our animal products. And we are going to use vaccines that are produced by Kenya right here at home, so that even as we develop vaccines that we are selling to other countries, we are doing the same to our country.